As the saying goes, to educate a man is to educate an individual, but to educate a woman is to educate a whole nation. In today's episode of Dialogue, we will be discussing the role of education in women empowerment. This is so because women empowerment arises in 5 major areas, which is political, social, educational, even in the entertainment industry, and employment. So this show seeks to educate us on the role education has to play when it comes to women empowerment. Please journey with us as together with my beautiful panelists, we take you through the journey of what really that role of education in women empowerment is. And as usual, I am your host, Adoboy Elena. Thank you. Hello everyone, you're welcome to another episode of The Dialogue. On today's episode, we will be discussing the topic, the role of education in women empowerment. With me in the studio today are...
I'm Wagizo Williams. Completed University of Ghana, currently doing my National Service at Asasi Radio.
Okay. Yes. And I am Princess Finn, currently also doing my NSS as a teaching and research assistant on University of Ghana campus here.
So I'm guessing it's the University of Ghana thing.
Yeah.
I'm also a alumni of the University of Ghana. Mm-hmm. I am currently into real estate, the CEO of Handy Homes and Handy Apartments. Luxury at your side, and so that's basically a little bit of us and our lives so far. So.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel like you guys are discriminating against me. Why 3 labeled alumni? I don't understand.
Well, you are currently at the premium university.
So oh yeah, I disagree. UCC is the best.
No.
Education.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
I don't agree with that.
Well,
but right now you have
you have to just succumb.
My name is Elinam Adoboy, and I'm the host for today's show. And I'm also a proud alumnus of the University of Cape Coast, number 1. In the whole
We'll let you have it.
We'll let you have it.
Just for now. Yeah.
Okay. Our program, The Dialogue, is proudly sponsored by Handy Homes and Apartments, Luxury at Your Side, Black Origin Communications, Creating the Best, Sojourner Clothing, Visa Assist and Immigration Expert, your number 1 travel partner. So on today's topic, education is a very key factor in most of the things we do in our world today. Previously, it wasn't given that recognition, but in current times, if you haven't gone to school, then it looks like, what are you doing with your life?
Yeah.
Usually someone asks you, oh, so what are you doing? Oh, I'm a student. Oh, really? Where are you schooling? And then they're so excited. They want to know more. Yeah. Especially when you're in the university and you're studying like good courses. Like that is amazing. It puts you on the go. However, we know that women's rights from the earlier centuries have always been curtailed in so many ways. As we saw in our previous episode where we looked at the stereotyping women face, as part of it in the olden days, education was something that was not cut out for women. Yes. Yeah. And so as part of discussing the role of education in women empowerment, it is important that we sort of understand the history, how far we have come as Ghanaians in the role of empowerment. And then I'll call on Miss Hannah to take us through a brief history of that.
I would say from my spectrum, or the little that I know is education in general, not even for women, started back in the 17th centuries.
Okay.
Mostly in the castles for the prince, the kings, and the elite. In the central aspect or the central region of Ghana. That was where I think education has predominantly reigned.
Yeah.
But other regions are challenging the status quo, and we come to realize that it was the Basel missions that started educating females. And so we have some of the first institutions being Wesley girls, educating wonderful women that I've met a lot because I'm an alumni of Holy Child. So the beef is eternal, but the beef is still competitive. And then came Holy Child as well. Another St. Rose's. I'm looking at the women aspect of it. There was even Presec, which was also a mixed school far before, and not even quite far ago. I actually knew some alumni from Presec. So it wasn't even men. It was actually a mixed school. That I know. I still stand to be correct, but that I'm
very sure.
I've learned, So,
okay.
So that was a little bit about it. And also we get to understand some kings that took challenges during those times. Like we have the first king, I think that was his name escaped me. Ofuriata, yes, who was the first king of the Ashantis to actually take the mantle to let women be educated. So that's like some long strides that we have done. And even before, even during the 70s, most of these fees of education students were by the Yana of the Dagbani. I think in the northern region. So education in general for both, even all genders, has been challenging, but I think we've come far. I mean, looking at even the 1960s, where there was some sort of free fee compulsory education, which also sought out some prominent people. And I think also back in the Rollins times, which had even most females, when a French education was introduced, they had most female taking over that sphere and then passing with good grades. So that's from my perspective. There's a lot to learn from it, from my point of view. I think that's been some brief history.
Okay.
Education.
Thank you so much, Miss Hannah. Honestly, you see it as but that was such a very
insightful, in-depth information. Very much needed. Thank you so much.
I mean, the name Geese suggests that you sort of have a relation with the northern side.
Yes.
And I know that though education has been promoted there, the level at which people or ladies attend school there is still on a minimal. So per your experiences, have you faced any challenge as a northern girl coming up and then, trying to achieve greater heights in education?
Oh yes, I have. But I think with the northern side, we are still, culture is still culture. Although we say culture is dynamic and all that, our culture in the northern region, some hasn't changed. So besides, we have little girls actually marrying big people, sometimes maybe matured people, let me put it that way. So with mine, I'll say, I think when I finished senior high school, I quite remember my grandma was like, since you are done with senior high school, you have to get married. I was like,
really?
My friends were asking me, girl, which school are you going to? Someone said, I'm going to Legon UCC, and I have to go to nursing school. I have to keep quiet and be like, I don't know.
I'm still figuring it out.
One thing about me is I talk. I don't keep quiet. When I'm close to the people that I'm close to. Actually don't. So I actually told her that, I have to go to the university and actually get myself something. Because in this modern world that we are in, you have to get And I think one thing that should come and tell you, your husband will take care of you.
Wow.
I don't wish anything. I don't wish anything bad to anyone, but anything can happen. So your husband can die. Who will take care of the children?
The husband taking care of himself. For another day, but hey, I'm not going to drive that.
I mean, but then doing that to make you more independent as a woman and take care of yourself.
And it's very
the self-worth is there more to want to strive for more.
And sometimes they still think you're the young girl that they like. They actually like.
I know, right?
You're a small girl. Keep quiet and listen to me. When I say one, you say four. I remember I told my brother. My brother was like, just forget about her. I remember she called me up. I agreed that you go to your university.
Like she was granting you a wish or something.
But something that I think in this modern world that we are all supposed to go for it. It's not the olden days that be like men are supposed to go to school or boys that we have to sit in the kitchen to cook. We are in the modern world that everything is changing.
Everything.
And even when I completed university, like, okay, you told me when you're done with university.
So are you putting
sometimes I don't blame her. So when you go to maybe my mother's side, they are the Muslims, they are there. So my cousins will be getting married. She'll call me, hey, your cousin is getting married. Oh, this your cousin is actually
younger than you or something.
Yes, like 15, 13.
Of like an award that has been painted there. This is the limit. This is the ultimate achievement
you can achieve.
That shouldn't be it.
What do you want to achieve? You always want to go to school. What will you get from it?
Your husband will take care of you.
And I remember I even went to tell her that, okay, I know I've been to the senior high, the university, but when I want to go and do nursing, like, I didn't even want you to go to school. We are spending money for you to do a course in the university, and right now you want to change to do nursing. No, go and get married. Your husband will after you.
Wow. Wow, must be challenging. Yeah.
I'm going as a
and we are
as
proud
a
of
lady.
you.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, we are.
And I'm sure many ladies out there will be inspired.
I know,
by
right?
you.
Yeah.
How am I notness?
You have done extremely well.
Yeah.
And this is such an insightful story,
Be
and I
vocal
believe
about
it is
it,
going
yeah.
to, encourage young women out there. So if you're a young man watching us on this show, you should know that marriage shouldn't serve as a barrier in your quest to achieve educational success. Go for it.
Go for
And try
gold.
hard.
Go, fight for it.
Even if you marry, it doesn't stop you from there.
Yeah.
Upgrade yourself.
Exactly.
Upgrade yourself.
I'm not
Having yourself.
cutting you. Sometimes when you get married to this allergy, they will tell your people that, oh, I'll let her go to school when she get married to me. I have cousins like that. They are still in the house.
Wow.
They will stop you from going to school. They are not going in.
Wow.
And right now, your husband is the one taking care of you. Your husband is like your
Lord, your
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So you have to listen to him. You have to listen to whatever he says, whatever he tells you. So sometimes our parents, we love you.
But listen to us, please, we beg.
We beg.
Please listen to us.
And on this topic of independence and all, I think it's a different thing we have to one day actually talk about.
Yeah.
But today on the role of, education on women empowerment, I mean, now we know a brief history. We've heard a wonderful story from our dear sister, Miss McGee, and we thank you. We admire your strength.
Welcome.
But then we haven't heard your voice, Miss Finn, and I think viewers are, itching to hear that beautiful voice behind the beautiful face. Yes.
Okay.
So, Miss Finn, personally as an individual, what important role do you think education has played for you?
Okay. So to start, I would say education has made me very confident, because when you go to school, you meet your peers, you meet people of the same age, you learn, you unlearn, because you are coming from different background, different aspects of life. So that's made me confident. It has also made me it has given me career prospects, in the sense that as of now I'm a teaching assistant on campus, and in years to come I'll be pushing further, making myself better, doing more, continuing climbing the sky. So I don't think education is something we should sit down on or we should downplay, but it actually plays a role in our upbringing here.
Wow, that's very true. Thank you so much on
You're
that.
welcome.
So basically, I was gonna come from that angle, but I was not taking. So, as a business or an entrepreneur or a mindset person, education has been a form of networks. It increases your networks.
Wow.
Like every level that I find myself, there's this caliber of people that so this is it. Okay, and then they open doors to it, increasing your network and open opportunities. You are not just going to there to learn that. Dude, this friend that will lead you to this friend that will lead you to this network that will lead you to. So education can never be undergraded. So technically, with the field that I even find myself, I was doing, when I started and I finished my first degree, and then I was like, okay, my dad was like, let me do the CA, right?
Yeah.
And the caliber of the big people, these are now my clients right now, because like these are big people doing chartered accounting, and so now, because my mates wouldn't have been my niche to sell to afford. But doing the CA, I meet people like, okay, so I sell this, I'm into real estate. So it's like creating the channel to network with people and the system that, and I feel like if you're educated, there is this level of acceptance with the elite. I don't know how to put it. You cannot be. Well, you can still make it not educated. But I feel like even
it's like a plus.
We even looking at education. I feel like even all this conversation has always been to the side of academia, but informal.
Informal education.
We do have that. We do have that. Very, very true. Very true. So on the last sentence you just gave, it actually brings to mind a question I've been having. Just to move a bit aside from a major thing, but there's this general saying that to educate a man is to educate an individual. So when you educate a woman, you educate a whole nation. And then in my mind, I'm like, do you think the person who came about with this saying, I know he's a popular man, but his name has escaped me. I don't know.
Was he not one of the president?
Anyways,
I can't really.
I think along the line we might.
We'll find out. Please comment in the comment section.
And so I'm like, do you think education of a woman was restricted to the education in the formal sense, like going to nursery, to maybe crèche, to your nursery, to class 1, class 2, class 3, JHS, SHS, or it involves just the exposure to knowledge.
Yeah.
Because we have women in entrepreneurship who didn't necessarily go through school.
Yeah.
You see, someone like Nana McBrown, she's doing so well. She's not someone who is known in the educational sector, but she's pulling crowds and she's encouraging others. We have women who are into fashion designing. They didn't necessarily go to school like most of us did, but you're doing well. So when you look at the things happening on both the informal and formal side, I think we shouldn't restrict ourselves, like you stated, on the formal side, because it goes on the informal part. Because some people have the skills.
Vocation and still
Exactly.
And people have technical skills as well.
And in the world we live in, education isn't the answer. Okay, we can still say education is the answer. Informal education. Yes.
So being exposed to knowledge
is very important.
very important.
It's very, very important. Okay, moving on to the next phase of our discussion. So if you're still with us on the show, we are discussing the topic, the role of education in the empowerment of women, especially in our Ghanaian communities.
Okay.
So my next question is to you, Miss Hannah. Do you think education has in any way helped us reduce the effects of stereotyping? I mean, in our last episode, we discussed stereotyping. So just to create a connection between what we've been discussing, I want our viewers to relate. So do you think that the role of education has in any way helped us with the effects of stereotyping?
So let me even take a quick detour. I think in Nepal, we have a constitution that allows free education to all, but the emphasis is mostly women. And if you see the number of women that are in roles over there, that's Nepal talking about, you would be shocked. And now let's come back to Ghana, where being educated kind of give you the men don't. I mean, if you are uneducated, people begin to see you in a certain way that but there's the respect when they see that you are educated, you are confident, you are moving, you are doing this, you have this career, you have this life. It comes with that kind of respect that comes with it. And so where is he gonna stereotype you at? I mean, you are driving a Land Cruiser, you are educated, you have a professional life, you have a trade, you have a skill, and so that gives you the confidence. Like I was talking about women empowerment earlier, about being the awakening of your self-worth. That is women empowerment. So if you have been educated, you have gained knowledge, you have been confident enough, you've been exposed to other women doing it, and not be curtailed to your own knowledge, that let you fight for yourself, that let you fight for your challenges, that let you fight for where you are at. So definitely education has been a key breakthrough for women to strive in their individual communities and professions.
Okay.
Yes, sure. Do you have something to add?
I have something to add. So to add to what our sister just said, I think education has also enabled women take their health very, very seriously. So back when people will perceive women as just baby making machines, now women take their health very serious. They take care of their personal growth, hygiene. They go to the hospitals. They they do family planning just to make sure that they are taking care of themselves, and make sure that they don't feel left out just because they are a woman. That's just what
I'm just adding up to what she said. Of late it's not I'm not all going to talk about men, but of late I'll just be hearing people be like, I'm not really in love, I just want to be with a smart lady. Someone that when I'm there, I'm satisfaction. I'm attracted to people who are smart, because sometimes they get tired, and when they have something in mind, they just want to come to you for you to put something down. You understand? So we women, sometimes they think women can't do anything, we don't know how to do anything, think for ourselves. But sometimes when they think you are smart, they put something down, you're able to bring something on board. They actually move.
They're actually like impressed.
Very, very.
It's a support system, and so if we begin to see it in an angle where
it's like
I've married a partner,
and
let me tell you, I learned it from one of these motivational speakers that says that marriage is one of the achievements of men, right?
And
When achievement should be consistent, like I've achieved this, I've
Certain
achieved it.
reason.
But if you begin as a woman to see marriage as your ultimate, and then the man knows after marriage he has to move on to the another thing. So you need someone that will move on to another thing. So you are idle and sitting and say, oh, my husband don't love me anymore. No, he's finding another thing to achieve. So you need to find another and then be at his spec. So you are balancing the life, and then he stands back and say, yeah, that's my life.
That's my job.
When you are one of his children where he has to come and take care of to keep achieving another thing, you don't get the respect, you don't get the time, you don't get to express yourself as it should be. And so I hope there's something I can put
that's when you even start feeling bad for yourself. Am I not enough?
But then you should be able to pick up yourself. Your husband is achieving. You should be able to pick up with him and everything.
Sometimes I don't think it's about them. It's all about the education when they were bringing up.
The upbringing.
Okay, so I think to add to what she said, so women are groomed to think that education is like the icing on the cake instead of it being like a stepping stone for you to achieve something else. But then men see it in the other way around, that once I get someone by me, I'll be able to achieve more. So why is it that women, why is that when you get married, you want to just sit at home and be like princess? No, we get. It matters. I mean, it's not just a girl. We are all just girls. We want to live the life, but then it shouldn't stop you from actually focusing on
actualization. Should be there. Your self-esteem too. Don't deprive yourself of and then giving birth about 3 to 1. Like what more can you also do for yourself? As let people look up. Let them mention your name in programs. Oh, this one is known for this. Like than other,
not just someone's wife.
In the long run, tend to be intimidated when their wives are gaining more than.
That's
because he's the man of the house.
Especially when you start earning more than them, they start going. So you need to take up more roles. I'm like, bro,
we shouldn't be so.
We shouldn't be so. Yeah, I agree with you on that.
So very well then. On that question, it does mean that education helps in so many ways to reduce the effect of, stereotyping. However, I think one other reason why sometimes men don't see the difference, even if we are educated, is like we said, we want things easy. Once you settle, you feel like,
to some extent, yes, but after
he would do everything for me. So let me just.
So my women out there watching the show, whether you're young, whether you're old, keep in mind that education plays an important role, and that if you wish for us to depart from a society where women are being stereotyped against every now and then, take your education seriously and attain greater heights with it. Create generational wealth for you.
Generational wealth. Well said. Well said.
Now, on the topic of this role of education, in as much as yes, we are all of the view that it's important, it helps in women empowerment and all of that. For us to really reach that kind of world where education is everything, like in a woman's life. I mean, it's very important, be it formal or informal. Then it means that most people in every nation must have good access to education.
Yes.
However, you would realize that most of us who have gone through good education is because of the exposure we've had by our parents moving to the city or having some relation. Maybe your father had his younger or elder brother in the city, and so you moved in with them. So what happens then to the younger ones in the rural areas? So I want each of us to give, some steps or a point at least. You can elaborate on it a bit, but not too much, because we're working with time, as to how education can be made accessible to those in these deprived or rural areas. Starting with you, Ms. Mugis.
So with me, I think sometimes the rural people don't actually
see the essence.
Not really see the essence, but I think it's lack of maybe infrastructures like we don't have in the rural area. So I think with people helping, sometimes it's a society. It's not always about the government, waiting on the government to do something. Actually, you have money, you can actually bring something, talk to your co-people, you build schools because their lands. You can actually talk to your chief, and this will help them. And even if you help in maybe bringing internet, so maybe if it's something that they will do online, that will actually help a lot.
Okay. I also believe that we can also start from the grassroots, like fighting. Why are they even thinking that education is not important in the first place? So we should now go to the stakeholders of the community, but make them understand that education is actually important. So if we tackle it from the grassroots, they themselves and the community as a whole be able to join hand in hand to build like the school she's talking about, make it more accessible to everyone, not just women. Yeah.
Okay, yes, Miss Hannah.
Okay, so my point, I think we should preach education through religion. Something that has been very much, they don't conflict. I don't know what the conflict has been, but one of my personal favorites is my chairman, Apostle Popinina, Church of Pentecost, would emphasize on and he's not even, I don't think he's the one that started. There has been predecessors who started that already, to preach education through religion, the importance of education. But then I'm going to presume that they assume that Jesus was coming now, and so what's the importance of education? What's the importance of getting a career, having a life? But no, we need to where a country where we have almost 65% being Christian, on the other aspect being Muslim, and the other minority religions. We need to put in the work as to so this the Islamic religion, how do we hit in our preachings? How do we hit defense education? How do we empower ladies? Because there was this even one show argument, that debate on the UN table that we were talking about. Has education been a curse? And I was looking one point, yes, it has been a curse because now the women don't listen to us. They think they have come on top. That was literally what it is. And so the presenter showed us that. So me going to school, being a presenter, am I intimidating to you? And he goes like, yes. I'm like, so when it comes to that topic, I always say, your problem is not the woman that's been educated. Your problem is that not only do you have to compete with your fellow men, but also women
as well.
You're peeved. You are intimidated. It shouldn't be so. So through our religions, we can tell them that women can do more, and women can strive more and gain more. So we don't need to change it. We just our religion in order to get education. No. We need to preach education through our religion.
They always want women to be submissive. So if you are going to school, they think you are not going to do that. So you pay bills, I pay bills. Competition.
But anyway, these days I think women are doing an amazing job. Shout out to every woman out there, from the ones
to our mothers,
babies, to the ones who haven't. Our lovely mothers, we love you so much. It's not easy being a woman. And then one major challenge with these rural areas and then their access to education is that, you see, usually in those times, even currently, we still have instances where some foreign investors or certain people go to these rural areas to pick them up. But most of the girls, some of them, she's in love. She has a period. Growing up. To be honest with you, if not for the urban exposure I had personally, with the kind of village I come from, all the beautiful girls that I used to grow up with, when I go to the village I play with, most of them are pregnant.
Even married some 18 months ago, and it's like the marriage is the topic of the day.
Exactly.
Who is marrying who and who is dating who and who has met for. And I was just
that's the issue for them.
And I was just
it's very bad. So
I think I should visit my village.
The elderly ones in the rural areas play a very major
vital role,
because you even get there, and then education shouldn't be just like we said the formal way, the informal way, educating them about using condoms and all of those things. And as much as we hear lots of platforms talk about this, it's a very
it's not reflecting in the villages.
It's not at all, especially
as the very but religion has reached everywhere. So how do you put that?
And funny enough, they will carry their children and come to church. And their husbands are playing drums and guitars, and you're like,
and the wives are pregnant.
What is happening? So I just side with you guys that we should preach it, especially from the religious,
from the pulpit or something.
Because it is very important. It's high time in the rural areas they, shun such activities in order to push our girls to attain good education.
And just to add to what you're saying, so to add up, see when it's coming from the pulpit, it is given authority. So we should use such platforms to push, to encourage people to go to school, do what is necessary to become empowered and independent from as women. Yeah.
Yes, very well. I believe today's show has been,
Very, very
very,
insightful.
very. I don't know. I don't want to read. I have to host for the whole day, but all too soon. We need to call it a day because our viewers, I believe, would also like to attend to other things. So if you have made it this far with us, you should do what?
Subscribe.
Comment, quick one, okay? Comment something.
And
Don't
then
forget to share,
and definitely like our videos.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. All too soon, we've come to the end of another episode of the dialogue discussing the role of education in women empowerment. Proudly sponsored by Handy Homes and Apartments, luxury at your side. Black Origin Communications, creating the best. Surgeonal Clothing, Visa Assist and Immigration Experts, your number one travel partner. And keep in mind, this program has been recorded from the live studio of Black Origin Communications. Shout outs to our producer.
Our producer,
Shout out to the brain of this program, Mr. Majid. And our beautiful makeup artist. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you all guys.
To our cameraman and sit down production team.
As creator, we see you back there. It's so good to have you all. Do have a lovely day. And I am Adoboy Elinam. I was your host for today. Thank you.